Infinix just released their Smart 9 and here's exactly what it looks like. I'm glad we have finally gotten over the triple camera design. This comes to a different looking camera design. Right out of the box, the Infinix Smart 9 would definitely catch your eye with its nice looking design. This design doesn't really scream budget phone from afar, but there's something else I noticed and I would want to talk about. While I commend this design from Infinix, it's just so difficult to ignore the build quality on this device. I understand most times on budget devices, compromises are made in order to keep the price low while still giving users what they want, but the level of compromise in build quality here is noticeable. The build quality here looks quite inferior and reminds me of the Smart 5 series from 3-4 years ago, and if you used one of those devices, you know those devices weren't built to last long. I just hope Infinix makes an improvement in the coming models and work on that build quality. Maybe take one or two lessons from Xiaomi and Samsung. Aside from the build quality that is obviously a bummer, Infinix did make a few changes on the Smart 9, like a new chipset and an upgraded 120Hz refresh rate. We are looking at a 6.7-inch display that is slightly bigger than what we had on the Smart 8 by 0.1 inch. It's a punch hole display with a 120Hz refresh rate as an upgrade to the 90Hz on the Smart 8. 120Hz refresh rate on entry-level devices is becoming a norm, but it still doesn't change the fact that most of these devices can't handle this massive 120Hz refresh rate. And trust me to always test out this refresh rate to confirm if it's really 120Hz. In the settings app, there's an option to manually select the 120Hz, but just like I said in my review of the Pop 9 and the 14C, these smartphones don't go past 60Hz, and on the Smart 9 at least we get a 90Hz refresh rate. Other display specifications on the Smart 9 include a 720p display. This display isn't winning any pixel density award, however it performs just fine on the Smart 9. With the dynamic bar feature sitting around the punch hole camera, this adds some flair to the notification and charging status. Just like on the Smart 8, this has dual speakers, one at the top and the other at the bottom. The dual speakers on the Smart 9 do a better job compared to my experience with the Smart 8. Infinix claims a 300% ultra volume boost on this device, and while I'm not sure about the exact maths here, I can tell you that these speakers get really loud. They are great for watching videos or listening to music even without headphones.
Yet filled with fresh revelations, a young planet called Earth.
I have the 3GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage, and it cost me 135,000 naira. As at the time of making this video, I couldn't find other variants, and I'm not sure if there are going to be others, or maybe we are just going to be stuck with the 3GB of RAM option. The 3GB of RAM on this device clearly shows that the Smart 9 is targeting the budget conscious users. The RAM might feel a bit tight if you're a heavy user, but for everyday tasks is the perfect fit for the job. This device can also hold up for some light gaming. Another aspect I wasn't impressed with this device is the Android operating system on it. Infinix decided to run an Android 14 Go edition on the Smart 9 in 2024 for a device that costs roughly 135,000 naira. This means there are some apps and some of your favorite games you won't be able to install on this device. The MediaTek G81 chipset on here is an improvement to the T606 chipset on the Smart 8 and is more than capable to handle the full Android version, so I'm not sure why we get an Android Go edition here. But like I said, budget smartphones always make compromises, and probably these compromises were made in an attempt to make this phone lighter and maybe even give the 48-month smoothness written on the pack. That part is still not clear to me, but this puts some limitation on the device. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I would want to spend 135,000 naira on a smartphone that runs Android Go edition when I can get other smartphones for that price that offers the full Android 14 experience. The 128GB of storage on this device is a nice touch to the price point. This gives plenty of room for apps, photos, and even more with the external SD card slot that is now expandable up to 2TB as opposed to the 1TB on the Smart 8. With a 5000 mAh battery, the Infinix Smart 9 performs okay in the battery performance department. I easily got through a full day of moderate use and about 8 hours of screen time. If you're a heavy user, expect about 6 to 8 hours of screen time, but for most folks, this battery should be more than enough. Somewhere else they fell short is the charging speed. For a device that costs this much and also with a 5000 mAh battery, even though this is a budget device, I expected this to have support for at least an 18 watts, but instead we have a 10 watts charging speed and a charging brick, and this means you have to watch your phone go from 0 to 100% in about 2 hours and 30 minutes or even more, and that is a really long charge time. On paper, the Smart 9 is IP54 dust and water resistant. For the camera setup, there isn't much to talk about. At first glance, this might look like it has a dual camera setup on the back, but it's not. It has a 13 megapixel main shooter on the back and an 8 megapixel selfie camera and a front flash up front. In good lighting, you can get some okay shots that are budget phone standard, and for low light performance, let's just say you might want to stick to well lit areas for your night selfies. Something else you will notice on the camera island is the dual flash. On the top is the flash for camera support, and the one below is a LED flashlight that can cover up to 5-meter distance at night. In conclusion, the Smart 9 offers similar specifications you will find on most budget devices and has some noticeable improvement from its predecessor. The design is also a good upgrade and even the better performing chipset, but the presence of an Android 14 Go edition and support for 10 watts charging and the not so impressive build quality makes it the least preferable when placed with other devices like the Spark 30C and the Redmi 14C, considering they have similar prices for the base model. But in the end, it all boils down to what you prioritize in a smartphone. If you're looking for a budget friendly phone and don't mind a few compromises, then the Smart 9 could be a great phone for you. And that's it on the Infinix Smart 9. What do you think about this device? Did it meet your expectations or are you kind of disappointed? Let me know in the comment section. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on post notifications so you don't get to miss out on any of my videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one.